let's talk about, you know, moving from Chicago, which is a highly gang infested city, GDs, BDs, vice lords, kings,
Yeah.
everything in between. And then you move to Mississippi. Are you experiencing or seeing a lot of that down there as well at that time?
At the time, there was remnants of it. There was, you know, because it had already started migrating. There was, like, if you're from Chicago, 9 times out of 10, you got roots in Mississippi. So there's no way you're gonna have all this affiliation in the Chi and nothing's moving in Mississippi. It's just the way things move was a little different. Like, now you get to where, okay, in Chicago, for example, you might have 1 block over, you got this set, and then 2 blocks over, you got a different set. In Mississippi, there's whole areas, there's whole communities that are strictly one thing. So, like, you might find yourself, and you know, you traveling around, you trying to do music, you going wherever you can get an opportunity at. You might find yourself in a space that's like, okay, I didn't know this what was going on over here. Like, it's all blood, it's all vice lord, it's all GD, whatever. And in my experience, I just move like I belong. Everywhere I go, I move like I belong. I move like, hey, I'm here to do what I'm here to do. Hope it ain't gonna be no issues, but you know, if it is, then it is what it is. But the underlying thing was it's still Mississippi, so there's still racism. There's still that aspect, as opposed to, you know, you thinking about, okay, man, I just came from this city, man. I know, you know, people come move around to different places and they be on the tough shit. Like, hey, man, you know, I'm from here, and it's like, yeah, but you might have a run-in with the police here, and they might not like you just because you might not be there doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not as prevalent as people always like thought it was. Because like when I go to other places in other states and they find out I'm from Mississippi, they think we still in like Mississippi burning days or some shit. Like, but it is still
it's
there.
Still noticeable,
it's still
a little bit more noticeable than say Chicago or LA.
Yeah, it's still underlying, and it's still in the front sometimes too. Like it's real. So it's something that became another aspect because I was young. I played ball. I was a band member, so I traveled a lot. So like I was in small towns. I was in places where, you know, the coaches or the band director would be like, "Hey, you need to pay attention because these folks don't like that we here. They don't like that we here. We already play better than them. But they don't like us, period. They don't like it because we black and we here." So, you know, and all of that I feel like has been grooming me over time to be able to thrive in pretty much any situation. Like, rap a contact sport. You know, you end up in places where you didn't know you was gonna end up being there, and you got to know how to carry yourself. I think all of that was training me. All of them different experiences were training me up.
That's so true, homie. That's so true. I love where this conversation is going. Let's talk a little bit of hip hop. You know, speaking of Chi-Town, Chicago, something that originated out of Chicago that has since spread not all over the country, but the world. In fact, it's one of the biggest sounds right now and has been for a few years is drill rap. You know, and I dig the beats, I dig a lot of the flows and everything. But a lot of the time when you dissect the lyrics, you are listening to someone diss another person very disrespectfully, and they're very, peeing on graves and going to grave sites and recording videos, and a lot of people have lost their life or ended up in prison or jail because of these specific rap beats. But being somebody who's I would consider an elder in the game, and I say that respectfully, what are your thoughts on that side of drill rap, to where they're just being disrespectful, they're popping all kind of drugs, like all this, what do you think about that?
Man, I believe, and I got a couple different viewpoints on this topic, because I actually have chopped it up about this a couple times. One, you have what we'll call the real deals. You have the people that came from a certain lifestyle, whether they lived it or a family member lived it close to them, and they really saw this and it's really ingrained in them, and they put it into the music. So you have those. And you have a few of those that are successful. And then you have those that are they're guided because there's been a popular form of music. So you got to think about somebody that's making a song about how many people they done took out and all the stuff they did, the type of missions they done been on the mainstream, does that really make a lot of sense? If that's really them? I think the people that are funding it, you know, the people that's making sure that they had the money to put this out and promote this, saw it as a cash cow.
Oh, yeah.
And they milked it. But the problem is you put those people on Front Street because they're actually dope artists. They're talented, gifted people. And you kind of streamline them into this image, but you're not really protecting them. That's how we end up losing a lot of really dope artists, because you can only go to so many of these towns and you got on all this money. You got on this money. You're wearing it. You got on this jewelry. You got on these clothes. And you're telling people what you like and what you do and how you liked it. And these people out there liked it. So they see you and it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then we'll see. You know, because I ain't got no money like that. I ain't got no chain on like that, but I'm really out here doing it every day. And you come to my town and get paid to come to my town and say all of this stuff that you do. So let's see. And I think that's really dangerous. I think it's been dangerous for the industry for a while. And I think that a lot of people haven't gotten around it because a lot of people, we're in the microwave age. So
hell yeah,
people gonna listen to whatever's readily available because it's quick and it's easy to get to, and then they'll complain about it. The same people that say, "Man, I'm tired of hearing all this drill music. Man, ain't no real hip hop no more." Which I don't discount drill music as not being real hip hop.
Nah, these cats are talented, dog.
Yeah, but for example, people say that, like, "Man, it's drill music, man. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing." But if you ask them, well, who else you listen to? They ain't got no names because they ain't winning salt nothing out. Like the hip hop community as a fan base, we used to be the trend setters and the trend seekers. Like, people wanted to know what the new dopeness was. People wanted to know what was raw. So a lot of times, like, they'll catch what was on the radio because that's what's trending. They want to know about that. But they wouldn't spend time on that. They would spend time on, man, I need to hear something, man. You heard it? Like, when I discovered JID, I was listening to JID before he really hit.
Dude, it's hard.
And it was dope. Yeah, and it was dope to have it, to be able to be like, man, check this out. I love putting people
click is hard, dog.
Whole Earth Gang click. All of them. Raw. And they ain't pushovers. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, these ain't some kids that...
Oh, they from the street. I know they a couple repping Pyro, and yeah, they dope.
Yeah, it ain't like they gonna get active, but that don't mean they don't stop their artistic flow. So, you know, people are like searching it out. If you want to find it, it's there. I have no problem with drill rap. It's never been my forte to make it because I've seen a lot of it. I lived a lot of it, and it ain't the type of music I want to perform. It doesn't give me the feelings I want to have. It doesn't get the response that I would want from people. Like. And, you know, it's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't got no issues with it. It's another form of a great art form, which is hip hop. It's just one of them sub compartments that comes along with hip hop. I mean, we had NWA, which was gangster rap. You know, gangster rap and drill rap have a lot of remnants, you know what I'm saying, of each other. Like, it's kind of derivative. But, you know, that's what happens as hip hop evolves.